Buonasera, signorina, buonasera. Scentland, the land of scent. Hello and welcome, Chris, back with another fragrance review. This time I respond to a special request of one of my subscribers, Luis, and I accept the challenge, which is actually a pleasure, to review the top 5 fragrances released by the house of Trussardi. Trussardi was founded in, it's an Italian house, if you haven't guessed it by now. In 2011 marked the 100 years of Trussardi. That means that the house was founded in 1911, right? They were doing leather goods, mostly gloves and stuff like that. And then Nicola Trussardi, the late great Nicola Trussardi, elevated the business in the early 70s up to haute couture and then into fragrances. And then he passed away in 1999 and sold it in a car accident, and then sold it his son in 2003. So it has this tragic turn, the Trussardi family. And I'm trying to today look at a range of fragrances that they have released throughout the decades. And actually, when I do a top 5, my aim is to represent the entire range in a genuine way. And with Trussardi, I'm lucky because I have been purchasing the first Trussardi fragrance back in 1992. 25 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, I did that. And I ever since enjoyed Trussardi fragrances. I tried each of them, each of the male and also some female Trussardi fragrance releases ever. Like I know what I'm talking about here because I really have been a devoted fan of Trussardi. So when I looked at the range and responding to Luis's request, it was a challenge, but it's a pleasure as well at the same time, because I was able to revisit these great fragrances. And actually in my top 5, 3 decades of Trussardi fragrances are being represented. So before I start, let me have another sip of this fantastic 2009 Hungarian bull's blood. Great taste. And so, top 5 Trussardi fragrances. Let's look at the spot number 5, right? Released in, picked the wrong one there. Released in 1993, one of my favorite years ever, personally, was a fragrance called Trussardi Action. This is an amazing aromatic citrus juice. It's very Italian. It is a sports fragrance, which means it's very uplifting, very fresh, very appealing, yet not aquatic, not citrusy aquatic. This is an aromatic citrus fragrance, right? With a performance of a sports fragrance. It doesn't last you necessarily that long, but during your sports activity or during a spring or summer day, even being reapplied, it performs amazingly. It is such a nice aromatic citrus Italian vibe that you cannot get enough of this juice. This is just brilliant. It has a bit of this old style aromatic fougere-ness that I love personally a lot, okay? But it's not French at all. It's so Italian, and that's what I always loved about Trussardi, that they kept this, this groundbreaking Italian style, and they actually moved forward and created new trends. And I'm not saying this is a new trend, but it's very Italian, and it's setting itself apart from many other sports fragrances, right? So this is how it made my top 5 on spot number 5 as a sport fragrance, Italian vibe to a great extent, being put into a citrus aromatic format or vibe, action sport by Trussardi on spot number 5. Love this juice. Oh yes. Great. Then we move to the new millennium, entering the year of 2006. This was a whole new era with Nicolas and his son being gone at that time. But Trussardi is still maintaining the great groundbreaking work that they did in terms of fragrances. And they released in 2006 a fragrance called Inside, right? Trussardi Inside. Look at the bottle. Just look at what's inside. You see that crocodile leather inside. That's what it's all about. Crocodile. The whole package is actually extremely nice. And the fragrance, again, another groundbreaking new trend from Trussardi. Very Italian again, very Italian. Have to emphasize that with Trussardi at this stage, in these years. Very Italian. It's a coffee, woody, tobacco, citrus scent. Again, a coffee, tobacco, woody, citrus scent. Just let that melt on your tongue, right? This done in an Italian way with a great performance is just sophistication pure. Pure Italian sophistication. The citrus is there, the coffee is there, the tobacco, the cigarette tobacco, with this woodiness beneath it, it's just, it is so exquisite. It is pure Italian elegance, this fragrance. It is, and the performance is great as well. It's maybe not that versatile. You wouldn't wear it for a sports occasion, but other than that, as a signature scent, this is just brilliant. You know, maybe I'm contradicting there myself, but apart from any sort of extremely casual event, this is really fitting any occasion. Trussardi Inside from 2006, you know, refreshing, aromatic, and just purely Italian. That was spot number 4. Now spot number 3, ladies and gentlemen, we return back to the 90s, and I mentioned Trussardi Action Sport, right? That was a flanker to the original, because the original came out in 1990 and was called Trussardi Action Uomo. Uomo, you can see here written. This is a tester bottle, right? Trussardi Action Uomo is a very interesting, extremely spicy Italian fragrance. I mean, this smells green and is fougere and spicy and all that, but this smells like your Italian grandma is opening the cupboard in the kitchen. Yes, see, opening the cupboard, and all the spices which are being stored in the cupboard suddenly hit your nose, and you start to smell like, what the heck is going on here? You know, I have sprayed this on here. It is fantastic. It is a Italian spice bomb at its best. The performance is incredible. And the combination of the spices, it's lying on a traditional fougere basis, right? So you get a little bit of this traditional fougere, old type of, you know, traditional fragrance structure, right? But again, it's the Italian twist. Again, Trussardi manages to kick the Italian twist. It's never French, it's never American, it's unmistakably Italian. This is why Trussardi is, or was, one of the best Italian designers, because they always kept this Italianness about them. Unmistaken Italian vibe is coming from this fragrance, just as like from the other ones that I mentioned so far, and the 2 that are gonna follow. They're all unmistakably Italian. So Trussardi Action Uomo from 1990, the one of the spiciest Italian fragrances, very macho even. It is really a bit in your face, right? But the Italians are a little bit outgoing, like, you know what I mean? Perfect. Spot number 2. We jump a decade again. We're going back to the 80s. And we look at the very, very first release that Trussardi had in the fragrance market in 1983, simply called Trussardi Uomo, Trussardi Man. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a very proud release of Trussardi, discontinued by now. It has a flanker released in 2011, which has nothing to do with it. Nothing in the world. This juice, I reviewed this in a separate review. This is my mob style review, right? This is an extremely sophisticated, again, Italian style leather fragrance. It's the most sophisticated leather fragrance I've ever come across. It smells like the interior of a leather-seated Lamborghini, right? Or even Maserati, not to mention Ferrari. So this stuff, it is just pure elegance, pure Italian leather elegance. Okay, the performance is incredible. The juice is, it's just brilliant. You know, it's dry to the bone. And the leather just shines through it. It does not allow anything else to step into the picture, really. But it's so well done. I mean, I wish that Trussardi would. I mean, if I looked at today's releases, honestly, they're like dozens of light years away from the quality and the originality or genuine aspects of fragrance like this. They should look back at their releases of the past, not because of nostalgia, but because of the aspect of the pure fact that this was pure, genuine stuff, which was so Italian that Nicola Trussardi was walking around like a proud man and saying that this is Trussardi. I remember it had an inlay in the box saying Il mondo di Trussardi, the world of Trussardi, right? And it was really something, not just, if you look at Trussardi today, it's just one brand on the shelf. At the time, Trussardi was so special. This was actually the fragrance I got back in 1992. I love this. I love this. I love this. I get emotional about it. Spot number one, ladies and gentlemen, the most genuine release, in my opinion, of Trussardi. It's a groundbreaking and again extremely Italian fragrance released in 2001 called Python or Python, right? Python. Help me, you know. Well, actually, the Italians could spell it like Python. We Python, Monty Python, right? This is Python, yeah, Python in English. It's a blue juice, right? Blue cap, very nice shaped bottle as well. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a really genuine juice. I mean, nothing compares to this juice. It's fresh, it's juicy, it's green, it's blue. It has figwood bark, it has olive, it has cypress in there, it has tea notes in there, and the fig and the olive and the cypress and the tea. I mean, just melt that on your tongue, these notes. Where do you find these nowadays? Never, ever, anywhere. It's all in here. It's being blended into a combination, an orchestra of effortless, juicy green blue sophistication. I mean, there was no person I've asked about this fragrance who said this smells bad, or everybody was raving about this. People love this fragrance. The performance is amazing. I have to confess that on me, for some reason, I didn't get used to it 100%. But imagine that I'm not 100% used to it, but yet I put it on my number one spot. That means actually that this juice, I recognize that this juice is so well done and so special and unique that, you know, I can only rave about it. Because, you know, you can actually dive into this like you dive in a pool. It will surround you, it will become part of you, and it will make you stand out of that crowd. You know, Trussardi Python is the most genuine one of the most genuine designer releases, and certainly the most genuine release of Trussardi itself. So this is why it made it on my spot number one, Trussardi Python from 2001. And I think Natalie Lawson, if I'm not 100% mistaken, Natalie Lawson was the nose on this anyway. Spot number one. So as a closing note, Trussardi today, disappointing. I have to say, I've tried their releases since 2011. Aurélien Guichard, who did the 2011 reinterpretation of this juice, it's a joke. It's not nice. It's not bad. It's nice. It's nice smelling, but it's without any edges and not much personality. It's nice smelling. Again, I get the point and all that. The newest release, like or the releases in between, the Way for him and My Land, Blue Land. Yeah, I get the point. I know it fits on the shelf and it finds the attraction of the crowd and this newest, this red thing, the red, no, they don't match up to these fragrances from the 3 decades I've presented you. So this is why they're not included in my top 5. So Viva Trussardi. I don't give up the hope that they will come out in the future with something good, and this is to the memory of the late great Nicola Trussardi, who was a pure genius. Viva Nicola, viva Trussardi. Ciao.